Hello and welcome to the Bishopbriggs Academy Drama Department YouTube channel. I'm going to give you some information about how to write sound in the National 5 Drama exam. When you're talking about sound, it's really important you describe it in as much detail as possible, so I would recommend that you describe it in at least 3 ways. That way we're going to be sure you have enough detail to guarantee the marks. So sound is quite a tricky one to write about. I feel there's quite a lot of ways to trip up here. Please make sure that whenever you're talking about sound effects, you say whether it is a live sound effect or a pre-recorded sound effect. If you say, I will use the sound of something, you will not get the mark. You must say it's a sound effect and you must say whether it's live or pre-recorded. I would suggest most of the time it's going to be a pre-recorded sound effect. You have to state what the sound effect is. So a gunshot, wind howling, owl hooting, whatever it is, say what the sound effect is. A pre-recorded sound effect of an owl hooting, for instance. You then say, you can also mention then the cue, so when this sound effect is going to start, and the duration, how long it's going to go on for. You might also want to mention if there's any transitions, perhaps if there's a crossfade from one sound effect to another, or whether it's fading in or fading out. Mentioning the volume level is quite useful as well. You can talk about that in percentages, so 100% being extremely loud, 5% being very, very quiet. So the percentage volume can give the examiner an idea of how loud you want that to be. Or if you want to talk about it in levels 1 to 10, 10 being the loudest, that also is enough information for the examiner to understand how loud, what volume this sound effect will be played at. If you are going to talk about music, you need to be extremely specific. So you must either name the song or the piece of music you're using, or give a very, very detailed description. If you write, I will use a sad song, you will not get the mark. It has to be much more detailed than that. So in my examples I'm giving here, I would use a pre-recorded sound effect of the wind blowing through trees at 30% volume, cued to fade in when Macbeth leaves the stage. Okay, so we've got whether it's a pre-recorded sound effect, we've named what the sound effect is, saying it's the wind blowing. We've got the volume at 30%, and we even have the cue. So that's 4 pieces of information given about that particular sound effect. For the more, another example I've got here, I would use a pre-recorded sound effect of the song Mad World played on a solo violin at a slow tempo. So we know what the song is, we know it's a solo violin, we know it's a slow tempo. So that's 3 pieces of information, and I've stated it's a pre-recorded sound effect as well. So that is the kind of level of detail I want if you're talking about music. Just a very vague, I will use guitar music or something, is not enough information. You have to be very, very specific about it. Okay, so describe your sound effects in 3 ways, being specific if you're using a piece of music. Okay, thank you.